Have you ever felt like a salmon, eternally swimming against the current? A life of constant struggle, where you're fighting every step of the way, exhausted, trying to control every drop of water, every obstacle, every moment. This feeling of being at war with your own existence is not a coincidence. It's one of the deepest pains of the human being. We are taught to believe that happiness is found on the other side of a battlefield, and that to get there, we must fight harder, push more, and win. But what if I told you that true peace is not found in the fight, but in surrender? What if the key to freedom were not to control the river, but to become one with it? To merge with its natural, effortless flow. To unravel this secret, this profound truth that runs counter to everything we've been taught, we need to look at a wisdom that has existed for thousands of years. The art of living, according to Zen philosophy. As the master Alan Watts said, the only way to make sense out of change is to plunge into it, move with it, and join the dance. The pain is not in what happens to you. The pain is in our resistance to what happens. Think about it. Traffic doesn't make you angry. Your mind, which resists the reality of traffic, is the true source of your irritation. The opinion of another person doesn't offend you. Your identification with your ego, which resists being challenged or diminished, is what creates the offense. We spend our lives and our energy in a relentless, exhausting battle against what is. We fight against the past, an unchanging force of nature. We fight against the future, an uncontrollable mystery. And, above all, we fight against the present moment, the only place where life truly happens. This interminable battle is the very root of our suffering. Our ego, with its insatiable need for control, for validation, and for a fixed identity, convinces us that we are the all-powerful captains of a magnificent ship. But, in reality, we are nothing more than a loose leaf on a powerful current, desperately clinging to the illusion of control. And that clinging, that resistance, is what fills our hearts with anxiety and our minds with noise. So, how do we stop fighting and finally start flowing? Zen wisdom offers us a map out of the madness. To understand it, we must first look at some of its foundational pillars. The master, Alan Watts, who acted as a profound bridge, translating the subtle truths of Zen for the Western mind, often said that the universe is a game of cosmic hide-and-seek, where you, as a separate self, are just one way the universe plays at being a person for a while before it realizes that it is the same as the entire universe. That, at its very core, is the essence of Zen. Your pain comes from the illusion that you are separate from the river, and your peace will come when you experience, on a visceral level, that you are the river. And this perception is not a mental concept. It is a direct, undeniable experience of reality. As Watts affirmed, trying to control the universe, you are at war with the universe. And how do we have this experience? How do we break free from the mental prison of resistance? Through the practice of the beginner's mind, Shoshin. The beginner's mind is a mind that has no expectations, no preconceptions, and no judgments. It doesn't say, "I already know this." It simply observes, open and receptive. Imagine you are seeing snow fall for the first time. Your mind is not thinking, "How cold," "How boring," or "I've already seen this." It is just observing with a sense of wonder and awe. That is the mind of the beginner. That is the mind that flows effortlessly with life. It moves with the moment, instead of trying to categorize, label, or resist it. It understands that in every moment there is a new truth to be seen, a new layer of reality to be experienced. Zen teaches us that our mind is like a mirror. It is meant to reflect everything in front of it, without judging, without resisting, without clinging. But we, with our ego, try to grab what is reflected. We try to hold onto the reflection of a smile, or desperately push away the reflection of a tear. And it is in that clinging and pushing that the pain begins. The mirror does not judge what it reflects. It does not resist a storm or cling to a sunny day. It simply reflects. And that, Zen tells us, is our true nature. We are the pure, untainted awareness behind the mind. The fundamental practice of Zen, which leads us to this state of pure awareness, is Zazen, or seated meditation. Zazen is not a way to empty your mind, which is an impossible and exhausting idea. Zazen is the radical act of just being. We sit in silence, not to stop thinking, but to observe thoughts passing by, like clouds in the sky, without fighting them, without chasing them. Just observing. This profound practice teaches us on a visceral, embodied level that our true nature is not the thought, but the consciousness that observes the thought. It is the consciousness that is in the observer's seat, completely detached from the ego's endless drama. And when your mind is calm and you are anchored in this awareness, you can experience the state of Mushin, the no mind. Mushin does not mean that you have no thoughts. It means that your thoughts are not in control. It is the mind that acts spontaneously, effortlessly, like a leaf floating on the river's current. It is the mind of the master martial artist who moves without thinking, whose actions are pure intuition. It is the mind of the musician who plays without reading the score, whose fingers are an extension of the melody. It is the mind that responds to life with a quiet confidence, not with the ego's noisy analysis. It is the state of effortless flow. So, how do we live life as a work of art? The answer is by stopping the trying. By stopping trying to control every variable. By stopping trying to fill a void that doesn't exist. By stopping trying to be something you are not. The art of life is not to fight against the current, but to surrender to its power, trusting in your own capacity to be the current itself. Your life is your river, and your peace is in moving with your own strength without resistance. When you stop fighting, when you stop resisting, life ceases to be a battlefield and becomes a dance. A gentle, effortless dance in complete harmony with the universe. It is at this point that practice and surrender can lead to an even deeper state. It is the state of Satori, enlightenment or awakening in Zen. Satori is not a mystical, otherworldly event. It is the sudden and clear perception of reality as it truly is. It is the realization that the separate self who was fighting the river never actually existed. It is the dissolution of the illusion, the end of the cosmic hide and seek. It is the freedom of needing nothing, because you realize that your nature is that of everything. Satori is not a goal to be reached, but our nature to be revealed. It is not the end of the journey, but the end of the search. It is the realization that the river and the drop are, and always have been, the same thing. Your journey to freedom does not begin in a new place, but in the exact point where you are right now. Your peace will not come from a future conquest, but from the radical acceptance of the present moment. I want to ask you a question, and please answer me in the comments. What part of your life do you fight with the most? And what would your life be like if you just stopped fighting it and started to flow? Your journey to peace begins now. If you seek to continue unraveling your mind, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss our next videos about the great masters of consciousness. And if this video helped you find a moment of peace, a like would be a beautiful way to show it. Thank you for being with us.